Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. As usual, I'll be giving just 2 minutes to allow you guys to come in before we start the business of the day. But before then, allow me to use my 2 minutes to say one or two things to you guys. Let me start with a shout out. How have you guys been? It is Monday. Life goes on, the week continues. How is the weather treating each and every one of you? Hope things are moving on smoothly. For those working remotely, hope working remotely has been fun. If you ask me, it is awesome. And those in the office, hope things are moving on smoothly. Today, like I said, is a Monday. Just sit tight and enjoy our presentation. Okay, I can see quite numbers of people on my attendees list. Again, I will just take it up from here, even as more people keep joining us for the event. Good afternoon once again and welcome. For those of you guys that are joining us for the first time, my name is Garba Esiahaya, and I'm a training coordinator with the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple Small Business Development Center helps small business start and grow. We offer free one-on-one consulting and a variety of low to no cost webinars. We are part of the nationally accredited network of the Small Business Development Centers, which has over 1,000 networks across the United States. You are here this afternoon for a webinar on marketing on a shoestring. A copy of the PowerPoint and a link to the recording will be sent to all the attendees. Being a webinar, all the attendees have been muted. However, we always encourage you guys to drop your questions on the Q&A or the chat box. Without further ado, please allow me to welcome my two wonderful speakers, even as they take over the flow for the presentation. Janice and Cassie, you guys are highly welcome.
Well, hello, Garba, and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And hello, everyone attending today. My name is Janice Crow. I'm with Temple University Small Business Development Center, and I'm the program manager for a Pennsylvania Digital Transformation and E-commerce program. You're joining me today for Marketing on a Shoestring. Along with Garba is my colleague, Cassie Fly, and Cassie will be monitoring the Q&A. So please, if you have questions during the webinar, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A, and Cassie and I will answer your questions. But as we're talking about marketing on a shoestring, on December 5th, we're in the throes of the holiday season, and I just wanted to give you a little statistic. So for every $100 you spend at a small business, $48 goes back to the local economy. So nearly 50% of the $100 that you spend stays in your local economy. That's a wonderful thing for small businesses. In contrast, if you spend that same $100 at a big box store or national retailer, only $14 makes its way back to our local economy. So while we're talking about marketing on a shoestring and honoring all the local entrepreneurs on this webinar today, shop small business and shop local. And that's my marketing spiel. But let's continue. As I said, I'm Janice. I'm the program manager at PadTip. PadTip is a wonderful program where we provide e-commerce, website assistance throughout the state of Pennsylvania, as well as social media and digital marketing. Also joining me is Cassie Fly, who works with our PadTip program and who's also a marketing specialist and has expertise in SEO, social media, and digital marketing. But let's talk about you and what we can do to support our small business consulting. So our small business consulting through Temple University SBDC is at no cost to businesses like yourself. And you can see from this list that we offer a plethora of services from startup to succession planning and everything in between. We're here to help you. But let's jump into today's budget. So over the next about 45 minutes, we're going to talk about marketing on a shoestring. So that budget, where do you start? How do you design your content? And these wonderful no cost or low cost tools for designing content, scheduling your content, and other useful tools to help you operate your marketing plan and keep your budget in check. So we're going to jump right in to marketing on a budget. So while I'm talking about marketing, why don't we put in the Q&A if anyone on today's call has a marketing budget established? If you could just put yes or no in the Q&A, and then I'll wait a couple minutes, and then Cassie, you can give us a heads up on how many people we have with marketing budgets. So I'm seeing some people, wow, lots of people coming in both the Q&A and chat. So while Cassie's looking at those, I'm going to describe what is marketing. And there are hundreds of different definitions. But the one I love here at Temple University is from the New York Times. And the Times described marketing as the art of telling stories so enthralling that people lose track of their wallets. Think about what that means. It's content. It's you telling the story about that product or service that made people want to spend money with you. Everyone's selling the same widget. Everyone has the same type of services. But your storytelling, your marketing message is really what's going to help people to open their wallets, to develop that relationship with you, and to purchase that product or service. So Cassie, what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, so it looks like we have about 4 out of 17 have a marketing budget. So not too many.
Okay, wonderful. And if you could also look at the chat, I'm seeing people putting information in the chat too. But what that tells me from all of you, and that was my guess, so probably about 25 to 40% of you have a marketing budget. I'm going to talk about why it's important to establish that budget and some free or no-cost tools to keep you on track. So marketing involves everything you see listed here. So PR, public relations, advertising, that could be a Google advertising, could be social media or placing paid ads on Instagram. Marketing research. You can't have a marketing plan without knowing your customer. Developing strategy. Pricing is marketing. Are you going with pricing that is prestige pricing that ends in 0? So is that sweater $100 or is that same sweater $99? And there's psychological pricing with both of those. And of course, branding. So marketing on a budget, it's really about how I can really stretch the money that you have as an entrepreneur and bring in results. So the Small Business Administration recommends the average small business invest, not spends, but invest 7 to 8% of your gross revenue in marketing and advertising. So if your gross revenue's $100,000, then you're spending $7,000 on advertising. You know, are you really doing that? Typically, what I see is for entrepreneurs and small business owners, it's usually about 1 to 2%. So investing dollars in marketing can help. So we're going to talk about more ways to do that. And you can accomplish doing that on a budget through blogs, having a presence on YouTube, YouTube being used by Google. YouTube has now become the second most popular search engine behind Google, and of course, social media. But one of my favorite descriptions right now during the holiday season is cross-promoting with partners. And let me give you an example of what I mean there. So let's say that your business is operating in a small community, maybe with a vibrant small business district. You have a restaurant. As a small business owner, your restaurant is utilizing a local winery. So the local winery on their social media is cross-promoting with your restaurant to say that when you stop in for a wonderful meal Italiano restaurant, try our wine. The restaurant then is using baked goods and rolls and desserts from the local bakery. Let's say it's Jan's Cookie Shop. And Jan's Cookie Shop is cross-promoting on their social media accounts to find their delicious carrot cake, one of my personal favorites, I'll have to admit, at Italiano restaurant. So when you start cross-promoting with those around you, you really enforce the idea of small businesses and synergy and helping one another out. Maybe it's a yearly festival. Maybe it's a weekly basis. However you work with others, businesses around you are going to help to extend and expand your marketing reach and your budget. Another way to market on a budget is your user-generated content. And what I mean by that are those wonderful reviews that are left on your Google business profile about the great meal I had, the wonderful over-the-top service that was provided by the local automotive shop. When my car broke down, they gave me a free ride home so I wouldn't have to sit there for 3 hours while they changed a tire or located a part for my car. All of those user-generated content are things that you can use on your social media and website. And then, of course, the free tools. And that's what I'm going to talk about now. So where do we start? A way to start is first, of course, understanding your customer and your target market. Knowing who that person is, not just who are they demographically. Are they male or female? Are they 25? Are they 55? Are they somewhere in between? But also knowing their lifestyle, those psychographics. Do they relate to a certain charity? Do they interact within the social media content with you? What about your product or service draws them back to you? Then you want to, of course, describe your product. I could just say at Jan's Cookie Company that I sell cookies. Or I could say I sell the best, one-of-a-kind, custom-made and designed wedding graphic cookies for your special wedding or event. I could say that I use locally sourced flour from the local farmer to bake my breads. I could give a story behind that famous recipe that I use for my carrot cake and how it came from my grandmother. Describing your product with more finesse and using details are going to help sell that product or service more. You also want to define your budget. Is it that 8% or is it 1%? And set your marketing goals. And when you set your marketing goals, you want them to be clear, concise, and measurable. As an example, if I stick with my small business restaurant, so Restaurant Italiano, and I'm going to set a goal that during Q4 2022, I want to increase the sales of my desserts by 12%. So it's clear that my goal is to increase my dessert sales in the restaurant by 12% during Q4 2022. But if I keep that goal to myself, or I just tell my accountant that goal and I don't share it with my servers, then it means nothing. But marketing that goal, starting with your employees, having an incentive, maybe it's a contest for the servers who sell the most dessert during Q4 gets an extra 2 or 3 days off paid vacation, or they get a family dinner, made for them and 8 guests. Be creative. Use your resources that cost you little to no money to set your marketing goals. So what is out there for free? So you can see a list of lots of different free or low-cost content providers, services, project management tools. You can see some art sites such as Canva and Pixabay, Unsplash, marketing sites such as Hootsuite. We're going to get into each one of those now. But if I could, in the chat, if you're using any of these services listed here on this side, can you let us know with a yes? And if so, which service you're currently using? And then Cassie, if you could just let me know. I'll give you all about 30 seconds to reply, please. Are you using any of these services we have listed here?
Lots of Canva.
Wonderful. Okay, we're seeing Canva. Anything else?
There's Hootsuite. One person uses Hootsuite, one person uses eye contact. One person uses some of the free image ones like Unsplash and Pixabay, and then Bitly, the link shortener. Canva seems to be the most popular for sure.
Okay. Well, wonderful. Well, as I describe each one of these, if you are using these and you want to add to the conversation, please feel free to put in the chat how you're using them. So let's jump in with designing your marketing content with these free or no cost or low cost tools. And we're going to jump in with Canva. Cassie and I guessed this was probably going to be the most popular. And one of the reasons Canva is the most popular is because it's also the easiest to use. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Canva, let me take a moment to describe it. Canva is a graphic design platform, and you can use it to make and create social media graphics, presentations such as the one we're using today, posters, so think of any of the print components of your marketing plan. Is it a poster in your window that might have a QR code in it? Is it a table tent for your counter in your brick and mortar store? Is it your menu for your restaurant? What documents? Is it good old letterhead with your logo on it and other visual content? You can do these all from Canva's website. You can do it from their app. And they also offer subscriptions once you outlive the no-cost platform. But we'll talk about more about Canva here as we go on. So with Canva, this is an example of a flyer that was developed for COVID and used by a healthcare system, hand washing 101. So if this was something that you wanted to put in your restrooms, just to remind people, if you're a brick and mortar location, maybe you're a healthcare provider, maybe you're an education facility like Temple University. Again, maybe you're a restaurant. You can, develop anything in a form of graphic using the 100,000 different templates that are there. And you can save these and share these. You can change the color. You can change the background. So many wonderful things. So I just encourage you to play with Canva. Other things you can do with Canva is upload your own photos to use or find photos by just looking at and searching the name. I was looking for a photo that would show me e-commerce. So I typed in the word e-commerce and found something similar to this graphic that showed someone typing on a computer. I found hundreds of graphics of people using laptops, of websites, all of those different elements in the photos. You can then find elements. So if you're looking for anything specifics, you're looking for chart stickers, frames, you're looking for shapes. You can find that in Canva. And then text. So if you have a certain font or type style that you're using, if you like a certain type of heading, you can find that all in Canva. and you can save it so that you can go back to it time after time as you develop your marketing campaign. A few more things that Canva can do is your styles, such as your typeface and the colors that are available to you. You can find the audio and video backgrounds, which are fantastic. And you can integrate with social media apps on your Google Drive, in your Instagram, in your YouTube. So many ways to use Canva that it streamlines the marketing process and puts everything that you want in one place. Our marketing manager here at Temple University, SBDC, is a Canva fanatic. And in fact, last Wednesday gave a presentation on Canva. So if you are interested, you can find it on the Temple SBDC YouTube channel. Another free tool, if you're just starting your website, your social media, and or your company, is colors.co. It's also great to integrate with Canva, but this is where we're going to generate your color palette because you want to be consistent. So the same colors and background you use on social media, you're using on your website, you're using on any of your printed materials, so that when someone looks at your business, they know. I'm going to use the word Target. And you've all just thought of the big box retailer. And what are Target's colors? Bullseye, red and white. Nothing else. You're not going to see that Target logo change to any other color. It's red and white. During the holiday season, they even have fun with it. But they know when they're designing which colors work best along their selected palette. If you jump into Canva Pro, which I'll show you the pricing here in a moment, you can preset your brand's fonts, colors, and logo for that unified design across all of your promotional materials, and it's always going to be there. So in this one for Earth Day 2020, they're showing you this agency has preset everything for headings to Barlow Bold size 42. So every time they go in and do a heading for any of their marketing products, it's always going to be in Barlow Bold. And these are the colors that are available to them. So what can you do with Canva to increase your online presence? I'd love to see what you're using Canva for. So if you want to drop that in the chat. So I'll give you a second or two to do that. But of course, you can use social media cover photos, Instagram stories, highlight your reviews, share with others. Of course, brand consistency and short videos.
I also put a link to the Canva webinar we did last month in case anyone wants even more on that.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Looks like we have a good mix. We have Instagram stories, short videos, invoices, gift cards, flyers, sales, flyers, highlights, social media posts. Lots of social media posts.
Wonderful.
Business cards, flyers, sales sheets. Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. You're doing a great job with Canva. That's really, really wonderful to hear. And hearing gift certificates and all of your graphics for your billing and letterhead, really great uses also. So we'll move on. Again, these are the plans of Canva. As of this morning, they could change, but for 99% of you using Canva, the free site is really all you're going to need until you keep growing your business. Others that some of you are using that I had mentioned earlier are Unsplash. And you will be getting a copy of this presentation at the end. We have links to many of these. So if you are new to any of them and want to try them, I encourage you to do that. but Unsplash, excuse me, is freely usable images. Now, with any of these sites where you're getting free images or stock photos and videos, I still encourage you to read the small print to see if there's any trademark or use limitations. Just to protect yourself, I always say err on side of caution. Pexels do the same thing, stock videos and photos. And then Pixabay are stunning free images and royalty-free stock. And on here, they do say you need to make sure and check any of the regulations associated with them. One that we had found that's a little more unique, if you're looking for an icon. So you know that there's some kind of an image out there in an icon that you want to use that maybe the Gen Z's using, or now the next generation, the alpha generation that's right below Gen Z are using. So you can go to the Noun Project, and they aggregate and catalog symbols that are created and used by graphic designers around the world. And it's simple, the nounproject.com. So if you want to know if there is an image for Christmas tree or ornament or a menorah or anything that you're looking for to promote your business or services, this is a great place to start. And again, the Noun Project, for years, for zero fee, there's 3 million icons available, and you can see for even $2.99 what you can get a month. I'm going to pause here for a moment. We're about a little more than halfway through the presentation. Are there any questions? If so, drop it in the chat. While people are dropping any questions, I'll talk about mixkit.co. So mixkit.co is one of my personal favorites, and we have lots of small businesses who have also used this in addition to Canva. It's a free gallery of stock video clips, music tracks, sound effects, and video templates. So let's say you've made a video to put on TikTok or Instagram stories, but you want a music background. Mixkit.co is where you're going to find some great music tracks that you can integrate at no charge to your YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram video. This is really a cool site. It says right here, be sure to read the license and terms to make sure, but I'm seeing a lot of people on TikTok, especially, using mixkit.co. Cassie, did we have any questions?
Yeah, we have one, and I was going to type an answer as well so everyone could refer to it. But one question was, you mentioned Google for reviews. What do you think about Yelp for reviews?
Okay, Cassie, you can go ahead and take that.
Yeah, so Yelp is great for reviews. I think it's a good idea to also just look at your competitors and see where they get reviews, because that kind of gives you a hint as to where maybe you should have reviews. Different industries might have, it might be more important to have reviews on Yelp for like restaurants versus maybe another type of business. If you're a restaurant, Yelp is very popular for reviews, and you should definitely have a Yelp. But if you're maybe something else, then maybe just on the website is more important, like maybe a dentist, Google is more important than Yelp. So kind of depends on the industry.
Oh, great answer. Absolutely. Depends on the industry. So absolutely check what your competitors are doing. And with any type of marketing, always know your competitors' marketing strategy as well as your own. Go on their website, follow them on social media. It's not illegal, it's not immoral. Yes, you don't have to like what they're doing, but get an idea. Get an idea. In my community, about a year ago now, a local donut shop popped up, and I started following them immediately on social media. They were doing such a fabulous job that a national donut chain commented on their Instagram post. So even the big guy out there was looking to see what a small little donut shop in my personal community was doing. So let's get back to the presentation. Infographics are a way to give information to your customers, the consumers. Let's say you're in a B2B type industry and you want to be the content expert on whatever type of product or service you're selling. Venngage is a great way to use as an infographic. And what it does is it helps you to take all of that data that you know. So your yearly goals, there's a lot of examples here. Any type of statistics, and put it into an infographic maker, whether it's for a poster, a presentation, a promotion. Maybe your product or service is rated on Google 4.7 out of 5. Maybe you're an Airbnb provider and you have 5 stars out of 500. Boy, that's something you want to publicize. You want it on your social media, on your website, in your B&B, in that Airbnb that you rent. You want that table card right there on your kitchen counter. Maybe it's with a QR code. People can leave a comment. They can book their next Airbnb stay. If you're an attorney, if you're a marketing consultant, your infographic can tie and go into your blog when you're talking about that topic that is real important. I've written a blog about e-commerce and the importance of having even a basic website for small business, and incorporate statistics into an infographic so people can understand them more clearly. Just another wonderful free tool. So let's move forward now and talk about scheduling your content. But before I do that, I want to talk about something called namecheck.com. So, I love to bake. And if I ever decide to leave the field of marketing and have a bakery, I'd like to call it Jan's Cookie Company, because it's a crazy example I've used over the past few years. Well, my guess is somewhere in Pennsylvania or the United States, there's a Jan's Cookie Company out there. One way I could find out before I apply for a license in the state of Pennsylvania or wherever you want to incorporate your business is namecheck.com. So you typically type in your name, and even if you're licensed now, I would still ask you to do this to find out if there's another company with a similar or the exact same name somewhere in the United States or globally. You'll find your domain name, domain extension, social media username, mobile apps. You can do a phishing check. All of that, again, at no cost at namecheck.com. So I highly encourage each of you to do that. So let's move on and talk about scheduling content. So hopefully now, after the first 30 minutes of me talking and your interaction on this wonderful website and webinar, you have some ideas on marketing on a shoestring, how to expend that budget. So Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social, and many others are social media management platforms that can help you become a social media manager yourself. Here you can curate your content and schedule your post. So it's your December 5th. If you are in the height, let's say you're a retailer and you sell retail type products for the holiday buying season, you want to have a minimum of 1 social media post a day out there. And let's say that tonight from 9 p.m. till midnight, you take that 3 hours, you can create all of your posts in Canva. You can schedule them in Hootsuite, Buffer, Sprout Social, wherever you'd like, for the rest of the year. So between now and January 1st, you schedule out all your social media posts. You know, your post on December 26th could be picture of you with your feet up, or Santa Claus with his feet up taking the day off. New Year's Eve, you're thanking everyone for a wonderful 2022. And on New Year's Day, you're scheduling a post asking them to come back and see you in January of 2023 to kick off the year. And in order for you to kick off the year, you're offering a 10% discount. Whatever you want to do, whatever content you're making, you can help not only yourself, but engage your team in scheduling and creating that content. And Hootsuite is a wonderful way to do it. Another one that we advocate and have used is called Buffer. Here you can get one that's free, where you can do your basic publishing tools, or as low as $5 per month per social channel. So per channel would mean per Instagram, per Facebook, YouTube, Google, whatever you're using out there, TikTok, to manage your social media channels. So at this point, I'd like to ask, is anyone using a social media publishing platform?
One person had Hootsuite on there that they were using.
That's correct. Yeah, I remember that. Excuse me. Losing my voice already today. But this is a example of the posts that have been published or published ahead of time in Hootsuite. So it's showing, and you can easily drag and drop. You can get content. Maybe you had a post the 4th of July that you want to reuse for January 1. You can go back, you can get it, you can just drag and drop to January 1. You can edit the post right there, and you can publish them. So great way to utilize your time.
Someone uses Icon Square. That's one I hadn't heard of, Icon Square. And then a couple people use Facebook and Instagram, I think through the Meta Business Suite. You can also post to both if you have Facebook and Instagram connected.
Absolutely. I'm grateful that you're taking advantage for that, because if you have a Facebook business page, you should absolutely be using Instagram and vice versa. And Meta has made it a little bit easier to publish both, and to publish months in advance of when you'd like to release it. Again, another example of how to post. You could choose which platforms you want it to go to, put in any text, put in your image, and it's there. Next, one of the things that Cassie and I get lots of questions about are hashtags important, and how do you generate them? So hashtags are still important, although we're seeing them wane in importance a little bit. However, when you're using social media, you still want to have a minimum of 2 to 3 really strong hashtags. You don't really need 15 or more. One of the ways you can get ideas is through the hashtag generator. Those are, of course, at no cost as well. You can put in a current hashtag, find out how much it's used, find related organic hashtags. So this was going to give you ideas, but not just ideas that your best friend's daughter have given you, but ideas based on research and analytics. And I'm all about, in marketing, using research and analytics to make informed decisions that relate back to that original marketing goal. So a few other useful tools is Google Alerts. This is a free service where Google sends you emails when there's results about, and you decide what you want to see results about. Temple SBDC, PadTep, marketing, you put in the name of your business. You could put in your own personal name. Let's say you're the brand. You're a solo entrepreneur. You're a solopreneur, excuse me. You're going to put in your name as the attorney running your own business, as the CPA, to find out if you're mentioned, and it's going to, you can select the options and find out if you want to know once a day, once a week, and maybe your story is picked up. Maybe the Philly Inquirer wrote a story about Small Business Saturday and your business was mentioned, and you might not even be aware. That is great content then you could share with your social media followers. And Google Alerts is a fantastic tool to do that. Another one, similar to Google Alerts, is Feedly and also BuzzSumo. So they aggregate the information into one place so that you can easily follow. And all the information can come from news, blogs, social media posts, and other sources. And Bitly links. If you use Instagram or other social media, you may have seen a Bitly link yourself on someone else's platform, or hopefully you're using a Bitly link if you have a long link to your website. So Bitly is a link management platform that lets you harness the power of your links by shortening, sharing, managing, and analyzing links to your content. So it's for anywhere from a large Fortune 500 company to a small business like yourself. Here you just go in, you put your link as what it might be. For example, Temple University Small Business Development Center is a mouthful, right? So we could take our link, we can then get it shortened and put it into our website. Another free or low-cost project management tool, one that Cassie and I use multiple times a day, is called Trello. So Trello gives you boards, lists, and cards, and enables teams. You invite your team members to go here to manage a project. For us, we use it to manage all of the requests from all of you, our small businesses, for SEO audits, social media audits, website audits. We use Trello for managing our student teams that help us develop our websites for all of you. And it brings everyone together. So 24/7, a student can go in at midnight and see what their next task is. I can go in at 6 a.m. and see where my teams are moving. So it's wonderful and it's free. Here's an example of what a Trello card can look like. You can put together a personal to-do list. You can go in progress. You can move things done. You design the background, the color, and how you want it to look. And it is great for managing, especially a remote team. They still have a free version. You can, basically grow right now. Cassie and myself and our team, we outgrew the free version and, we're into a paid version now, but they all work very similar. And it's a great, great tool if you need a project management tool. And one of the last things that I'm going to talk about here today is Hello Bar. This is a personal favorite as well. And these help you to create those special banners you see on your website. So you can take this and convert these banners, whether they're the ones that run across the top, the middle, any type of pop-ups you can develop through Hello Bar. And again, free to, higher cost there. And then the broken link checker. This is one for your own personal website. So if you already have a website, you can go to brokenlinkcheck.com, put in your complete URL. They'll pop up with a security code and then press Find Broken Links Now. What this will do is help you find any links, especially if you have any backlinks to other websites, and show you 404 errors that need to be corrected and how to correct or remove them. Very important if you have a website. So next steps. These are links to all of the top resources we've talked about. You can Google search any others that are out there. And lastly, I just want to talk about using the right tools. So when we really want to use social media effectively as a marketing tool, we have to take advantage of anything that will automate or make your life easier. And we've talked about probably over 45 tools today that you can help to start your social media. But any questions as we wrap up today? As I said, I'm with the program manager with our Digital Transformation Center of Excellence. We provide lots of free tools at no cost to you. So any questions for Cassie or I before we wrap up? And Garba, I'll let you jump in as well as you could with our survey
Yes,
that we'd like to ask.
yes, please. Before we continue taking the question, I just posted a 30-second survey about today's webinar. Remember, we at Temple SPDC, we always cherish your feedbacks, even as it helps us in improving the services we provide to you guys at a no cost. So kindly take 30 seconds of your time to fill out the survey link I just posted. I guess I will just post it for the second time so that, you know, if you didn't see it for the first time, at least I just did it a few seconds ago. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Garba.
And
Absolutely. That survey is very important to us. We read every one of them. So please, if you have comments, feedback, if you want to see a different topic in 2023, I can't believe the new year's just a month away. Please drop that in the chat also. If there's a topic that you would like to see in a webinar that would help you as a small business owner to grow, please let us know.
someone, I think sometimes people can't see the survey, so maybe we'll just post it one more time. Seems like people aren't seeing the link for the survey.
Okay. Let me just go ahead and post it. I just posted it for the third time.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, it sometimes gets caught up in that chat. So while you're taking the time just to do that 4-question survey, if you need to connect with us here at Temple SBDC, I'm Janice Crowell. There's my email address. You could scan the QR code that's on your screen and sign up for our newsletter. It provides wonderful information. It only comes once a month. And our marketing department does a fantastic job in putting together news and information appropriate for you as a small business owner.
And there was one question in the chat or in the Q&A. It says, what volume makes a good target market for small businesses when choosing hashtags? So like whenever you're using a certain number of hashtags. I think I've heard before that like the magic number is 11 hashtags, but I don't necessarily know that that's, you know, written in stone. Also, it says, do you want something with 1 million mentions or a much smaller number so you can have a better chance of getting noticed? I mean, I think it's a good idea to get a lot of, you know, mentions. But it is good whenever you're marketing to try to market to like a particular market. So kind of marketing it like at the niche level. So for example, if you're, say you're someone who's looking for a chiropractor and you have severe back pain, like your problem is you have back pain, and you go to Google or you go to social media and you notice, you know, chiropractic services, one that says specialty chiropractic services, and then one that says spine and back chiropractic specializes in back pain. Well, you're probably going to choose that one simply because it has those specific keywords and it's a little more niche. So sometimes being a little more niche and having a smaller group that you reach with your marketing is better than necessarily getting 1 million mentions.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with Cassie. Yeah, having a quality 100 mentions versus paying for mentions or paying for followers, I do never advocate for doing that. Grow your business organically on social media and play around with the number of hashtags that work best for you. It could be as little as 3 hashtags if they're well designed and really tell what your business is. It could be as many as 11. But again, that's something only you are going to find out over time and keep track of what you're doing so that you can go back a month from now or 6 months from now to have analytics to better understand what you did.
And Dan, I saw your additional comment. In your question was, do you want to add hashtags that are very popular where your post might get lost in a sea of other posts, or do you want a hashtag with a certain popularity range where people are looking at it? I think it's a good idea to play around with both. And like Janice said, looking at your analytics and seeing which ones get the most engagement can kind of help to tell you. So you can, try out these, 5 hashtags that are very popular, but then you can try some that are more specific and then just take a look at which ones perform better over time. And that will help to kind of determine that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's see. Yep, we only have about 7 minutes left, so I want to let you go back. Well, Garba, we have someone asking for the survey link. If you could post it another time, please. There it is. Oh, I understand. We all get disconnected. Technology, you got to love it and hate it. Happens to all of us. All right. Well, thank you so much. I wish you all a prosperous holiday season, and please reach out to us if we can help in any way. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good one.